I look a lot brighter than you. You look like you're in the shadows.
Oh, I thought that was like an intelligence slight.
What?
I thought you were calling me stupid.
Why do you look different? Did you change something about your appearance?
I did some teeth whitening.
I can't see it from up. You're in too much shadow.
Oh.
This looks terrible.
So real quick, and I promise I'm going to segue this into the movie you gave me. While I was editing the previous episode, I discovered something. I feel so stupid for not realizing this, but I guess I just didn't catch it. Hall Pass is made by the same guys that made Dumb and Dumber.
Oh shit, no way.
Which, as I'm sure you remember, I really like Dumb and Dumber. I like to watch that occasionally with my friends. So that actually gave me some insight into why I felt like watching Hall Pass. There were some scenes where I'm like, I feel like this is a really funny setup, and I think it was because it's that kind of humor that killed in the 90s with those wacky setups and some slapstick and stuff like that. But when you execute it 10, 20 years later, it sort of loses something. It's sort of the Adam Sandler effect, where in the 90s he's killing it, but 10, 20 years later he's making the same jokes and it's just falling flat.
I thought Blended was pretty good.
Uncut Gems, that was a comedy, right? But I will say, if I was too harsh on that one, I think I would have liked it in a group setting. It's very rare that I can find a comedy that makes me laugh really, really hard just sitting by myself, especially sober. But god damn it, you did it, man.
Yeah.
You found the one. Drop Dead Gorgeous. I fucking love this movie.
Hell yeah.
If you got any more in your pocket like this, please throw them at me.
It's too much pressure.
Going into it, all I knew about it was based on the cover. It looked like it was going to be a comedy about beauty pageants. Mm-hmm. And then you said to me, like, it's the kind of movie that they couldn't make today.
Absolutely not, no.
I really didn't know anything else about it. I put it on. I could see on the front who's in it. I saw Kirsten Dunst. I saw Denis Villeneuve. Denise Richards? 90s actress Denise Richards.
Denise Richards.
Is whoever's from Look Who's Talking Now, who's that?
Oh, that's Kirstie Alley.
Kirstie Alley's in it.
Kirstie Alley.
Yeah, I had no idea it was going to be a mockumentary. Mm-hmm. So that was surprising. I thought it was going to mostly focus on beauty pageants, but it's actually more about just a weird small town in Minnesota and just like the culture there and how the beauty pageant is a part of it, but there's just so many scenes. It's such a little weird picture snapshot of the Midwest at the end of the 90s.
Yeah.
Which I did a little research, and I couldn't find that much, surprisingly, about production, but the woman who wrote the script, it's completely written by one woman. Mm-hmm. It's not a team of writers or anything like that. And she grew up out in Minnesota.
Okay.
And so she was like, she was writing kind of a joke based on her life experiences out there. I liked how, as you're getting introduced to the town, you're just getting introduced to so many people, you're not really sure where it's going to go, and then it kind of focuses in on Kirsten Dunst as the one you're supposed to be rooting for, and she's kind of this pure heart, like likable character. The mom in it was hilarious. The mom's friend, the family friend, who's almost like her aunt figure, freaking hilarious character in this. So many jokes in it that I was just laughing so hard. The mom gets in an explosion and she gets the beer can
stuck on her
melted
hand.
to her hand, and that's just, it's like that for the rest of the movie until the end when it's amputated. The previous winner of the beauty pageant, who is now like horribly anorexic and sitting in the hospital, and then they drag her back out for one final performance.
Yeah. Don't cry out loud.
Yeah. And then they take her tiara.
Yeah.
And I brought your favorites.
Real nice, Becky. She's anorexic.
She's skinny, Amber, not deaf.
There was one moment in it that I lost my shit because Denise Richards is on stage doing a kind of a terrible dance and song number.
You're just too good to be true.
And then she indicates off stage, and what should come whooshing out?
Can't take my eyes off of you.
Oh yes, the Jesus,
I've never
yeah.
seen a surprise Jesus quite
Yeah.
like that, and then she's dancing with it, and I'm just cackling. I'm maniacally laughing by myself. Now, my wife also came in at a couple moments in the movie and sort of watched it with me, and she was laughing too. But yeah, dude, this movie,
It fucks.
it's highly cancelable.
Yeah,
I would say.
unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys know the retard's pants are open. I don't want to see that.
Close up shop. Close up shop. Close up shop. Here.
Which, I mean, I think you and I think, comedy shouldn't really have those kinds of limitations if people can just understand it's a joke. But
Well, it's also that, like, these are characters
yeah,
who are saying all these things. And I think that's what kind of gets lost is, like, the things that people say and do in this movie are not things that we endorse.
right.
But first of all, it came out in the 90s, so,
Yeah.
like, that's how people were. They did say those things. And watching it, like, through our lens now can still be funny,
Yeah.
you know?
Comedic actor Will Sasso, who I remember from Mad TV, actually portraying a retarded person, but it's supposed to be in a slapstick, like you're supposed to laugh at him
Yeah.
because he's mentally handicapped and doing
Yeah.
dumb things. That
Yeah.
would never fly today.
And then I think the people who are calling him retarded, you're not laughing because they're calling him that. Like, you're laughing because, like, they're being buffoonish. And I think, like, that's something that gets lost is, like, these are the characters, you're laughing at them. You're not laughing because they said a word that's, like, cancelable.
Yeah.
Some people might.
I think today that would just get lost in translation. This is not the film that you sit down a bunch of nowadays 20-something sociology, gender studies majors and like, hey, watch this. It's a slice of life from the 90s. Mm-hmm. I also think this movie probably, if you think about it, a year later, Miss Congeniality comes out, and that's a more palatable, like, everyone can kind of get on board comedy about beauty pageants.
I don't know, like, how long after, but I do
Yeah.
think that Drop Dead Gorgeous, from my understanding, is that it flopped.
Yeah.
And now it's, like, kind of like a culty following thing.
Oh, it deserves that. I mean, it's hilarious. It felt like I was watching Forbidden Fruit in a way. I was watching a kind of humor that had been lost to time.
Yeah.
I think South Park still makes jokes like this.
Timber!
It had a tone that was sort of similar to that movie Heathers with Winona Ryder and Christian Slater. If any of you have seen Heathers, just kind of imagine that, but a mockumentary. I actually found out that the guy who directed this movie went on to direct more than 40 episodes of Reno 911.
Okay, that checks out.
So you can kind of see, if anybody's familiar with that show, the kind of tone and some of the comedy and the way that's shot, he just carried that over from this movie.
Terry, buddy. Terry, here's your words. Here's your words.
I was murdered.
You were murdered. Okay, you obviously weren't murdered because you're alive and you're basically intact. You weren't murdered, buddy. You weren't murdered, buddy.
My skin is stolen.
I don't really have anything bad to say about this movie. The closest things to negative critiques, which are just generic comments that I noticed. There's certain scenarios where the camera crew gets to go, and you're like, would they really be allowed on the scene of an explosion and not like tell the camera people they have to go?
Yeah.
Hey, family.
Oh no, she's just screaming, Mom, because she's got Tourette's. She's an ex-kid, dipshit.
I turned my brain off for that. I just enjoyed it for what it was. It was great.
Just suspend belief.
The other thing is, this movie is only an hour and 37 minutes long, and I assume that's with credits. It's not a long movie, nice and tight. However, it feels longer because once what you thought was the third act wraps up, a surprise additional third act kicks into gear, and the story jumps to a new location. It makes sense. I mean, you win a beauty pageant, you go to state. So they leave the small town, they go to state, more crazy hijinks happen, and then it actually just kind of kept petering on. I was like, man, I don't know where the hell this thing's gonna go next.
Yeah.
But I was laughing the whole time, and a lot happens in this movie. People die, people get blown up, people get shot in the head. There's a killer on the loose trying to kill beauty pageant people.
Someone burns to death.
Someone burns to death.
That'll come in handy later.
For your film.
Yeah.
I think in closing, I would say that I don't think I've laughed out loud by myself watching. Usually I need that energy of other people in the room to really enjoy a comedy, and this one had me laughing.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. I strongly recommend it for anyone who likes comedy.
Yeah, well, specifically who likes twisted humor.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a little irreverent, it's a little insensitive, it's borderline mean-spirited.
It punches down. I didn't like Drop Dead Gorgeous because it just punches down. Here's the game. Book of Leonard Maltin reviews here. He does everything on a rating of either bomb to 5 stars. So you can get 1 star, but you can get a bomb. So the game is pick 2 movies and try to get to 5 stars without going over.
Oh, like the combined scores?
The combined score. Get to 5 stars without going over. And if you get a bomb, you lose.
Oh, okay.
You either want like a 4-star and a 1-star, or 2-star and a 3-star, like...
I can't choose a bomb.
Don't want to choose a bomb.
It's gonna be tricky.
I will say, Leonard Maltin, super picky dude.
Super picky?
Super picky.
Alright, let's go Forrest Gump. And I have to guess the stars?
No. You're just trying to get to...
Okay, so based off of how he rated Forrest Gump, I'll know how to proceed.
You gotta pick both of them blind.
Oh, I can't hear.
You gotta go blind, man. You gotta do both of them blind.
I can't get a bomb. I don't know what he would give a 1 star to. I don't know anything. Who am I? 2002 Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, maybe. I don't know. Forrest Gump and Spider-Man.
Are there 2 R's in Forrest?
Yeah.
It's not like a Forrest. That's what I get. Okay, here we go. Alright, I found that one. Alright, now what was your other one?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man? I can't believe what he gave Forrest Gump.
Uh-oh.
I know who's doing this. I know who's doing the Harold. I know who's doing this.
That's it.
I know who's doing
That's
this.
it. You shut your goddamn mouth. You shut your mouth.
2002?
Uh-huh.
Alright. You got to 5.
What?
You got exactly 5.
Well, what? Okay, what did he rate?
He gave both of them 2.5 stars. Leonard Maltin likes Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire exactly the same amount as he likes Forrest Gump.
This man is fair and balanced.
So, there you go. You did it.
Wow, that was
5 stars.
That was mostly luck and guesswork.
That was amazing.
So
yeah, Wicker Man. Wicker Man.
What's fun about this is we can also briefly allude to the Nick Cage one.
Yeah, I mean, after I watched this one, I kind of wanted to watch it.
What's in the bag? A shark or something?
So the original Wicker Man, it was like captivating. I will say that. It's fun to watch for sure. It was more of a musical than I wanted it to be. Like, I did not know that there was such a heavy. They laid so heavily on like song dance numbers and stuff.
The landlord's daughter. And from that boy there was a man, and for that man there was a grave, and from that grave there grew a tree.
Not corn rigs and barley rigs.
Oh my god, I could never hear that song again. I'd be happy.
Corn rigs and barley rigs and corn rigs are bonny.
I don't know why they chose that song, and they were like, this is every 5 minutes we're gonna go to the corn rigs and barley.
Corn rigs and barley rigs and corn rigs are bonny.
But yeah, I mean, they say it's a horror movie, but I never found it was scary, or I never felt like it was I guess that's a weird thing. Is like I think at the time people probably found it like really creepy.
Yeah.
But like honestly, I found the protagonist, like the police officer, if he is supposed to be the protagonist, I found him like more creepy. Like I didn't know who to root for because like he was just like.
I would root for Christopher Lee in that movie. Did you recognize Christopher Lee?
Who?
He's probably the only relevant, famous person in that movie. He's best known for playing Saruman, the wizard in Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Is he like the town mayor or whatever?
Yeah, like the lead guy.
Yeah.
The enigmatic, charismatic lead guy.
Yeah, I mean, by the end of it, you could tell you weren't really supposed to root for him. But like, I just thought the cop was like such a pussy. You know what I mean? Like,
and then there was the Nick Cage movie doesn't have like the Christian faith angle.
I am a Christian. And as a Christian, I hope for resurrection. And even if you kill me now, it is I who will live again.
Not the beast! Ah! Open my eyes! My eyes! Ah! Ah!
That's what I mean is like that didn't resonate with me, and so I was just like, well, this guy fucking sucks. And then like all the people in the town are weird, but like to me it was like a cultural relativism thing. Like this guy like was like crusading into their town and was like, you guys need to be like Christian like me. Yeah. And so like throughout the whole thing I was just like, fuck this guy. Like,
Sergeant, I've already
In the name of God, woman, what kind of mother are you?
We're a deeply religious people. Religious? With ruined churches. No ministers, no priests. And children dancing naked.
They do love their divinity lessons.
But they are naked.
Naturally, it's much too dangerous to jump through the fire with your clothes on.
Like I couldn't tell if it was pro counterculture or anti counterculture. I mean, I'm against burning people alive.
Yeah.
I want to go on the record for that.
Okay, good.
Christ! Oh, Lord!
But I also I didn't like the protagonist. I didn't like the cop.
I think the big thing was supposed to be that because of his devout faith, he was still a virgin because he was celibate, and so they sacrifice a virgin.
Yeah.
In the Nick Cage one, there's none of that. They just randomly kill him because he's an outsider. Can you imagine, like, if they just gave Nick Cage the same lines?
Sir, have these children never heard of Jesus?
It was cool. I mean, it's beautiful, and I think like you don't watch a lot of movies that are set on a island out on a Scotland island or whatever. So like I feel like that like kept it captivating, like just like the scenery and stuff was.
And it almost all happens in the daytime too. All the crazy stuff happens in the daytime.
Yeah, I never found. I mean, the like masks and stuff were like somewhat creepy, but like I think it was just like from all the shit all the shit you see today. Like watching that movie, it was just like it wasn't a horror movie to me. It was just like I don't know. It was just I don't know what I would call it, a drama. Like
yeah,
but it was Earth.
At the time,
thriller maybe.
At the time, I guess it was supposed to be shocking.
Yeah, but it was cool.
And then to remake it, the best that they could do is to make it memorable. Like if Nick Cage wasn't in that movie, in the remake, do you think anybody would remember the remake?
Probably not.
How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? I don't know!
I think it's I think it has like clout as like a classic, and it did something very different. But I'm glad, if you look at the remake with Nicolas Cage and then you look at Midsommar, I think more people should do that where they borrow thematic elements and then go do their own thing.
Take what works, remove what doesn't, go on a tangent.
Watching Wicker Man, like, I appreciated it, but I think like halfway through it, I was like, I just kind of want to watch Midsummer now. You know? Like,
oh, so you did think about that?
Yeah, but it's so different. Like, I don't feel at all like it was like borrowed unjustly from.
No, yeah.
But
it was its own thing.
I'd be willing to bet that Ari Aster like totally, you know, acknowledges. Like,
yeah.
What's going on? Corn rigs and barley rigs and corn rigs are gone.
Would you like to assign me a movie, or I assign you, or? I have one for you. So randomly, I know the tone isn't necessarily the same, but while I was watching Drop Dead Gorgeous, this one suddenly floated to the top of my list. How familiar are you with movies by John Waters? Director John Waters.
I feel like I've heard the name. I don't know though.
Okay. So I have a film for you. It's called Cecil B. Demented. It came out in 2000. Of his career, it's probably one of the tamer ones, but I think it's still really enjoyable.
Have you seen Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar? Have you seen it?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That movie's a fucking joy to watch.
Really?
It's fantastic.
Okay.
Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar. You're gonna love it, dude.
Would Leonard Maltshake give it a
I don't know.
a 5-star?
That dude's like too picky, I think.
All right, what did he give to Jurassic Park?
I bet he gave Jurassic Park 3.5 stars.
I'm gonna leave all this in. Jurassic Park, 3.5 stars.
I was right?
You guessed specifically 3.5?
Yeah.
We have a winner!
Roll the tape back. I said it.
All right, let's end it there.